Hello everyone, and welcome back to my international cooking channel, Eat Well, Live Well, where we experiment with traditional dishes and transform them into healthier options. Today we're going to take our culinary journey and our taste buds to the peninsula of Korea. We're going to be making a very popular dish in the 1900s and still very, very popular today, known as bulgogi. Korea's influence has expanded since the 1900s, and bulgogi has been a very popular dish in many different places. Just like KFC and McDonald's and these other places have shown up to kind of show Western, more fast food, commercialization in these different areas in different countries. Bulgogi is very huge in Korea, but it's also very widely popular in America. You can find these bulgogi in any Korean barbecue establishment that you can find in most major cities. Now, you may not find it in small towns, but that's okay. We can make it ourselves if we have the right ingredients. So let's do it, guys. Let's make that bulgogi. Let's see what we need to make our bulgogi. Here's a glimpse of what we need to make our healthy bulgogi recipe. Let's go ahead and get started. First off, we're gonna need a medium-sized bowl to make a marinade for our bulgogi. First off, we're gonna need 1/3 cup of coconut aminos. Next, we're gonna need to add our 1 tablespoon of sesame seed oil, followed by a tablespoon of Sauvignon Blanc dry white wine. So next we're gonna add our sugar component, which we're gonna be using sugar alternatives here. We're gonna be using 5 tablespoons of a brown sugar alternative known as sucrin gold, and we're gonna add in another tablespoon of monk fruit to help balance out the bitterness from the dry white wine. Next, we're going to add our 1 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, followed by a teaspoon of black pepper. Next, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of kiwi here. We're going to take some fresh ginger root that we cut up in a microplane, and we're going to go ahead and zest in some ginger, approximately about a teaspoon worth, into the bowl. Next, we're going to take a whisk and we're going to stir it around and get everything nicely blended together. Then we're going to go ahead and set that aside. So here is our thinly sliced sirloin steak that we had cut up in a bowl. And then we have our gallon plastic bag that we're going to place that sirloin steak in. Once we're done preparing the bag with the steak, we're going to go ahead and add in our vegetables. Now we're going to go ahead and add a 1/2 cup of our shredded carrots, followed by a 1/2 cup of Vidalia onions chopped up, and lastly a 1/2 cup of sweet bell peppers. Next thing we're going to do is add our bulgogi marinade to the bag. We're going to zip it up. Now we're going to start tenderizing everything together and mushing all that marinade into the meat, into the vegetables, so that everything gets coated and the meat gets tenderized, so that flavoring of that marinade can penetrate into the meat. After we're done preparing the bag with our marination and meat and vegetables, we're going to go ahead and put it in the refrigerator, but let this sit there and marinate at least 4 hours, but preferably overnight. After marinating for 4 hours and overnight, we're going to take it out of the fridge. We're going to open the bag up, take a look inside. Everything seems to be nicely marinated and ready to be cooked. So let's go ahead and start cooking our bulgogi. Here we're going to need a large size saucepan to cook our bulgogi so it caramelizes properly and evenly distributes the meat. Next, we're going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil to our pan. That's going to help with the caramelization of our meat, as well as keep it from sticking to the pan. We'll go ahead and stir that around so the oil evenly coats the pan, so it helps provide a non-stick surface for the meat. Next, we're going to turn the burner on medium-high heat so we have that heat that we need to help caramelize the meat. After approximately 2 to 3 minutes, there should be some heat emanating from the pan, which will indicate that it's ready to sear the meat. And at that point, we're going to go ahead and start adding our bulgogi to the pan. And as we're adding our bulgogi to the pan, we're going to go ahead and space it out a bit, because if you don't space it out, the sauce is going to stew the meat more than it's going to caramelize the meat. So it's kind of important to get a little bit of dry, and by spacing it out, it helps keep it dry enough where it can help caramelize the meat. After approximately 2 to 3 minutes of searing the meat on one side, you're going to go ahead and flip it over to the other side. After another 2 to 3 minutes, you should start seeing the caramelization appear on the meat, as you can see below. After your meat's where you want it to be and it's caramelized the way you want it to be, then we can go ahead and turn the heat off. Then we get ready to eat this mouth-watering, delicious, healthy bulgogi we just made. Mmm, savory and delicious. Well, that concludes our culinary journey for today. If you end up making the dish and enjoy it, hit the like and subscribe button along with hitting the bell button after subscription to receive up-to-date notifications of when we will upload new cooking videos, which will be generally once a week. Additionally, tell us how much you enjoyed the dish and if you've made any experimentation adjustments yourselves by leaving a comment below. Also include any alternative versions of the dish that you may have experienced and like to share with us in the community. We would love to hear about it. Now until next time, eat well, live well, and we'll see you in our next culinary journey. Bye!